All right, so I'm finally at the end of my season. We're in mid October, and it's time to blow my lines out. They shut the secondary water off, so I turned it off the day they shut it off. I don't want all that. It runs and drains as the secondary system drains down, but you get all the dregs and all the stuff, debris. I don't want that in my system, so I just shut it. I shut it down. So now I'm getting ready to blow it out, and I'm going to show you what my plan is. So I have these in line already right by my valve boxes. These are just little T's. And right now they have these little 1/4 inch, no, they're 1 inch plugs that are sitting in them. And I just built this guy this weekend. This is a 1 inch to 3/4 inch hex bushing going into an 8 inch. It's a 3/4 inch, but 8 inches long nipple. And then I have another 3/4 to 3/4 coupling. This is a 3/4 to 1/4 inch hex bushing, and then this is going to be my connector for my compressor. I just bought this 20-gallon Husky compressor this weekend. I had one years ago. Save the comments. I had it for a couple years. It ran fantastically, and for the price, it's pretty good. It's 20 gallons. It's 200 psi. That should give me plenty of volume and enough pressure to blow out my lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the end of it, which I have right here. I can just snap that guy in here. I don't know if I can do that with one hand, so we're just going to go like this. I don't know if I can see that. Pop that guy in. And I already charged this guy up a little bit. And let's see if I pop it in. I'm going to go in here like this. Get that guy in there. That's my pinky. Let's see if it stays on, and then we're just going to put a little pressure through. And you can hear it blowing through. That's just me putting a little pressure in there and then turning it off. So I'm hoping that's enough to blow out my lines once I manually open the valve. So I'm going to make some videos showing me doing it. Right now I got to wheel all this stuff out to my yard and get it ready. And then we'll see if this system I rigged up works or not. And the other thing I did was I had put a ball valve on this side. So if my valves that I'm blowing out are over on this side, I have a ball valve here coming from the main. So I close the ball valve, and what that'll do is it'll isolate this area from the main, so I'm not blowing out. I don't have to compress the whole system. All I have to do is compress one little zone. And I think this should work beautifully, but we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't damage my my valve diaphragms or anything. So we'll see. Okay, so I'm at my top valve box. I'm up at the top of my yard here, and I've got my ball valve. So this is my main coming in. This is my ball valve. It's now off. It's separated, so this is like blocking any of the air from going into the main that way. And then I just took the plug, the 1-inch plug, out of the T, just like I had in my garage, and I'm going to take my guy here and screw him in. And then once this guy's in, I don't know if I'll be able to do that with one hand. Probably not. So anyway, once I get that guy in, I'm going to manually turn each of the valves on, and we got the, why is it just so bad, this camera? We got the compressor sitting out in the middle of the yard, and we got our hose coming up, and we're going to see what we can do, see if this should work. We'll see how it goes. I'll show some video once I have it all assembled. I can't do it with one hand. Got the plug, I got the my little contraption here in, and all I got to do is now manually open the valves, and I can just do that with these channel locks. So now the valve is open. I'm going to open it pretty wide though, and then I'm going to connect the compressor, and we'll see how this works. All right, so I got my air compressor going. I got my valve open. It's connected right here, and you can see this is just this little zone of my strawberry patch. I got water coming out here, here, and a little one there. That's all 3 heads, so I'm just going to keep the pressure flowing through until there's no more water, and it's just basically air coming out of there. I set the pressure. It's about 30 pounds of PSI. 30 pounds of PSI, that sounded good. 30 PSI, because I typically, with the water running through it in the season, it's about 40, so I figured 30, I shouldn't damage anything. And that should be enough to get it out. If I had to turn it up, I could. So yeah, this is nothing breeds success like success. Boom. So we're gonna move through the system now. All right, so now we're testing zone 8. I charged the compressor up to about 150 PSI, so I didn't have to have it running while I test it. And now I got my wife feeding some pressure to it any second here. Should start jumping. There we go. So now we got all this water coming out of this zone. I'm actually getting wet right now. I don't want to get wet, but that is success once again. Nice. So I'm up in my zone here. I've been running it for a few minutes, letting it air out, and I can literally feel the air coming through here. So I'm pretty good with this zone. It's all cleaned out, so I'm going to move on to the next zone. But this thing is just working fantastic. I'm very happy with the way I designed it and that it actually worked. So on to the next zone. I figured I'd show how my tank works. So this is actually the compression I have in my tank. And I turn this little guy, and that is actually the gauge that shows me what's going out to my zone. And I'm about to turn it on to do my last zone off of this valve box, which is right along here. So we're gonna turn that nozzle like this, and you can see, oh, I'm going the wrong way maybe. No, that's the right way. And turn it, and you'll slowly see that pressure gauge start to go up. I'm going to about 50-ish. And you can actually hear it start to spray, and you can see I got that guy right in the middle just shooting water out. And the other nozzles over there, there's one right here shooting water out. I put a bucket over that one just because I don't want it to hit my compressor right here. So once again, it's working, and then you can see the pressure going down on this side as that blows out. I turn it up a little, and now I'm gonna kill this and run the compressor so I can keep running this. But this is working fantastically. So I'm out again. This is the next day. I did 4 zones yesterday, and now this is my setup for my next valve box. Basically the same exact thing. I got my ball valve shut off so the main is disconnected, and then I got my setup here to blow it out. I got my pump sitting right here, and now I'm just going to go through 4 of these 5. One of these is not connected. I think it's this guy in the middle. That's going to be drip zone. I haven't put that in yet. It's wired to a different timer. So I'm going to blow out 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I'm going to move on to the front, and I should have 2 up there, and I'll be done. So let's take a look. And the way I have it set up today, I should be able to get some pressure into my zone, and that should be this zone over there. And oh wow, you can see they're shooting. I got water coming out, so it's getting blown out. Yep, everything working again, just like I planned. Beautiful. See what happens as I turn there we go, popping up, and we got some water coming out of these guys, and we just run it till we have nothing left but air coming out of those 4 heads. So another successful zone done. Start popping on. Let's see, yeah, it jumped up, you can hear it, you see this guy here, and all around, there's one there, one way down there, one there, one there, and that's zone 5, so that's getting blown out right now. So, more success. We like success. Alright, last valve I've got to blow out. Last zone is the red, which is this guy here, and just loosen that up to open the valve again. And that's my zone, what was it, 6, 5. The one I just did was 4, that's this guy here. Now we're going to turn our pressure on, and let's go take a look around the corner here and see what we got. Should be blowing it out again. Everything should be working. So far it's all been working. A little bit of sunlight. Oh yeah, they're blowing out. So we just sit here and we'll let it run, and I'll go turn the compressor back on, but just more success. We like it. Alright, so I'm down to my last 2 zones, so let's see what we got. We got the same basic setup. I've got a ball valve. This is the main coming out of this valve box. And then over here, I've got my connector for my compressor. And going into my pump here, I got another ball valve, and this one I just closed. So I'm basically shut off from the pump. I'm going to do that separately. And I'm shut off from the main, so all the water I'm blowing out will be anything that's in that pipe, and it runs through here down into this, and then it'll go through these 2 valves. So let's get to that. Alright, so I got my note on my phone telling me that the blue wire, which is this guy, goes to my second zone, And so we're gonna open the valve. I already cracked it a little bit with the channel locks. So now the valve's open, and all we gotta do is come over to our compressor here. It's already fired up to about 170 or 80 PSI. Of course you can't see it. And we're gonna turn it on, let some air into the system and see. Yep, that's my zone 2. I got a head here blowing some water out, a head there. There's gonna be one over here. And I think the rest of them are all over here. All right, I'm on to my last zone. That's this guy here. We're just gonna turn that guy, open her up, and let's go over to the compressor. I got her at about 180 again right now. And we shall turn this guy right here, give some air, and we're at about 40-ish. And we should see the big guys blowing out right there. There's one there. There's a little guy over there. One guy down on the curb there. And I got one in the corner over there. So zone 1 getting blown out just like all the others. Awesome. Alright, so I got to blow out my main now. So where I am is at the top of my property. Everything's flowing downhill. So I reopened this ball valve. I've got this spigot open, so any water that might be in there has somewhere to go, so that's open. Then there's another ball valve in the middle of the yard down there. That's open, so that any water can flow downhill. I'm trying to push it down. I have another spigot over here. That's the end of the main up here, and that's open, so if there's any water, it can go out there. Then it goes down around the hill, and it goes to the front and to the valve box over on the side. And I have the same systems which I showed earlier in a video, or if this is 2 videos maybe, I showed it in a different video. But I took the plugs out so the water has somewhere to go. So now I just gotta put my little contraption in here and see if it can pressurize it and blow it out. And hopefully we'll have some success here too. Shot out so fast I missed it, but I had a bunch of water come out through here, and I'm going to go down and show this one. There was a bunch of water spraying out of here. It seems to have died down. Yeah, but you can see, okay, it's all floating in there, so the water is forcing its way out. So we're getting there, we're getting it out of there. And then let's go take a look at the front. Get it right around here. See, I'm going to guess I got some water coming out of here, but who knows? It's pretty far up. Oh yeah, there's some spray coming out of there. I just threw a nipple in there just to see, just to keep any dirt and debris out of there. I only had one, or I would have done it on the other spot too. So it looks pretty good so far. And I did this in the worst way possible. I should have done this first and then done the valves, but live and learn. Next year I'll know to do this part first. So I got everything I believe is blown out from here, comes across, and then it goes down, and it's actually sloped. Now I've got a ball valve there that was open while I was blowing it out. Right now I'm just recharging my compressor. So I believe this line's completely empty. So now I have nothing going through the lines as far as the compressor, and now I'm turning. I closed this ball valve, so now there's no. I'm gonna connect my compressor to my spigot over there, and all that'll be is it'll force pressure through a smaller area down and around to the front and to the valve box in the back of my house. So it'll be a smaller area. I should be able to blow even more water out. There's still some water in there I can see, but this was the way I designed it, so I could do it this way and just incrementally blow everything out. So I'm gonna go get the compressor coupled to the spigot, and then we'll start blowing that one out. But so far it's working the way I wanted it to. All right, so to connect my compressor to my line here, I took apart part of my original connector, and I just have the 3/4 inch coupler. That happens to be a 3/4 inch pipe my spigot was on, so 3/4 inch coupler, and boom, right in there. And now we're gonna now we have the ball valve closed there. We're gonna see about pumping some of that water out of it from here. I've got it at I don't know, it's about 180 right now. So let's turn it on, and we should see some water coming out of there again. Yep, I can hear it over there coming out. So we got a little smaller area that we're compressing now, so we'll get a little bit more results, and you can just see it spewing out of here. Oh, geez, it's all muddy in there. That is disgusting. All right, well, that's what it is. Let's get that out of our lines. Go around to the front and see how that looks, but you can see so far it's working. It's good news. All right, so this one's pretty much blown out now. I'm going to do one more round with this open, then I'm going to plug it. And by plugging this, what that'll do is, because I'm pretty sure this line's pretty cleared out now, it'll force the rest of the water around the front and hopefully get the rest of it at the front is the lowest point of the whole system. So once I get it out of there, then I've just got to blow out whatever might be in between my booster pump and my main connection to my secondary system. All right, I'm at the point where all I'm really getting out of my front is some air, a nice steady stream of air. So I'm gonna say that this guy's done. All right, so I got the whole system blown out. All I got left, this is my main going that way, so that's blocked. I've got this is the same line right here running to where my connector is for my compressor. It comes up through this pipe, it goes into this ball valve. I open this back up, and now it'll blow it. Any water that's in here will blow it through, and it'll come. I have this little drain open on my filter, and then this pipe actually goes down to the ground, and it's actually this spigot. So I'll get some water out of there, and then over here, this is where my main and my secondary connect, I guess, not my main necessarily. So I've got this little plug open right here, which is normally it just has this cap in it. So I'll get any residual water towards the main, and that's the secondary shutoff. That's the one that comes from the street. So all I got to do now is fire up the compressor, and hopefully it'll all clear out and we'll be good to go. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna go over here, turn this guy on. I got it charged to just about 200 almost right now, and we're going to add about 40 or 50 pounds. And I think all I'm getting is a little bit of air through the compressor. I don't think the compressor has any water in it, to be honest. I think that's already been blown through. I don't feel any water coming through here. Is this on? Oh, okay, it was closed. Yeah, there's a little bit of water coming through here. And let's see if we're getting any water down here. Nope, just getting some water out of here. So it looks like this is all cleaned out. So I'm just gonna let it run for a minute just to make sure, and everything sounds good. So my system is blown out and winterized. So hopefully this wasn't too boring. I'm just gonna stick with this and then do a little more OCD blown out of a couple things, and that's how I blew out my system. All right, so my system is winterized, and that is pretty much the end of the irrigation wars. I got everything done that I wanted to get done. My system ended up working exactly like I designed it to, which is actually a surprise to me because I've never done anything like this before. It was a ton of work, but it's over, and I'm thankful for that. Hopefully next year I can just set it and forget about it and fix an occasional leak, but hopefully 0 leaks, and then just blow it out again at the end of the season, and hopefully I can do that for years to come, but it's water, so doubtful. But anyway, any of you that watched any of my videos, I appreciate it, and thanks for watching them. And this is probably the end of Irrigation Wars unless I do some repairs that are something I haven't done before. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching.